But I'm happy to confirm that we have had consultations, and after extensive consultations, we have agreed that a dialogue is the way forward out of the crisis that we're having today in our country. We've agreed that we give people an opportunity to be heard, to express themselves, to come out with the grievances which are actually ailing our country today, so that a lasting solution can be found. Because of restrictions of resources or limitation of resources, we've agreed that everybody else will bear their cost.
Welcome to BTM News Kenya. Of course, here is where we tell the real news and true stories as always. So, the video that we just had of Raila Amolo Odinga, of course, earlier today, William Ruto and opposition leaders met at KICC to sign, as the president, as Ruto signed the Independent Election and Boundaries Commission (IBC) into a bill. And what really caught my attention, and I said I'll have to talk about it, is the speech that Raila Odinga made. And I will just have to disagree with him, because in his speech, one thing that what caught my attention is that he said that we have agreed for a dialogue. The question is, we who? Is he and Ruto, or is he? Because I believe the Generation Z, of course, they are the people who started this movement. The opposition leaders, including Raila himself, did not start this movement. So if you're saying we and who, of course, I've always advocated for peace, but again, I'm not saying that I want chaos to continue. The movement, the protest, now is 2 weeks since the protest started, and what the Gen Z wants from the government, is accountability, and they should do what is right for them. And one of their demands that they wanted the government to do is create employment, end corruption, and of course fire all the cabinet secretaries, the incompetent cabinet secretary. And if you're talking about dialogue, even last year, if I'm not wrong, there was this bipartisan talk between the opposition leader and the government, where there was a protest that of course went on like almost a month. But if you ask yourself, did it bear any fruit? The dialogue have been there since 2007, but it is in any way bear any fruit, because this dialogue, if you ask me, is a way of the government is trying to get away on matters that Gen Zs wants to be addressed. And this is where I do not agree with Raila Amolo Odinga. Of course, I know what Raila has done for this country, respect to him, and also I wish him nothing but the best for him to become the next AU chairman. But I don't think the Gen Zs or Kenya need a dialogue. We need change. And if Ruto is saying that he has had the Gen Zs, then what's the meaning of a dialogue? Because if he truly says, and he's saying that he has had the Gen Zs, then he needs to implement what they want, what the Gen Z wants, you know. And if you ask me, dialogue for what? Kenyans are only asking for accountabilities and constitutionalism in government, in governance. What is it there to dialogue about? What is it there to dialogue about? I think someone should just tell Raila Amolo Odinga to keep off. To keep off. His time is up. This is a time of young generations to take over, and revolution is now. Baba, just stay home. Just let the Gen Zs to take over this country, because you're trying to ruin your reputation. You have really done much. You have really done a lot for this country, but now you're trying to be on the side, because now that the government has the opposition on their side, it looks like a war. It looks like a war of commoners versus political elite, and that's what I'm seeing, and that's what is going to is what we are witnessing. You see, because why now bring the opposition on your side? The opposition never started this movement. So when Raila is saying that we have agreed for a dialogue, you and who? Not us, the Gen Zs. And Raila should know that he doesn't represent us at all. And it looks like these people are not together again. And that's why you should never trust a politician. Some of them have been paid. And Raila is a government puppet. Sorry to say that. Yeah, it's true. He is a government puppet. So what I can just say or tell the opposition and Raila Omolo Odinga, of course it's good for you to come in and try to give your own, to say one or two things, but you should not get yourself involved in these things, because if you're talking about dialogue, it has been there for many years, but nothing hasn't bear any fruit. Last year there was about partisan talk, the dialogue between the opposition and the government, but there was nothing. They just went there to earn their allowances, and after that they're done. But the life hasn't changed. High cost of living hasn't gone down. So we don't need a dialogue.